see if we can pick this one up. Oh yeah, I got a couple of questions from students on this one. This one's brutal. Let's see, format eraser, maybe that's it. There we go. Okay. All right, so this one's a wee bit brutal. I'll walk you through kind of why these answers are the way they are. Does anybody have any questions in particular on this one that they maybe struggled with? Hi, Carol.
Well, I struggled. Hi there. I just struggled the first time through on a couple of the nuns, you know,
Yeah.
because I had to sit and really think, you know, is it making any difference to either side or
Yeah.
however it was? And then
Yeah.
once I saw that they were wrong, then I was able to go back through and see why they were what they were.
Yeah, sometimes these are a little bit obtuse to figure out. So, because you really didn't have to do it before. So, but now you're given some scenarios and asked, you know, a couple of different questions about what the impacts are to the financials, or are there any? And so, like I got a question on this one, the 414D credit to sales services revenue is posted as a $414 credit. Well, the credits are the same account. Really, the only thing that's problem here is the value, right? So in this case, we'd be saying, okay, so the value should have been 4140, but it ended up being 414 when it was recorded. So we take that minus that. So we know that this value is what was incorrect, right? So that's the incorrect value. That's the difference between debit and credit columns. So in this case, because they're both credits, it's just the difference in the value column with the larger total. So this is kind of weird. I don't know, this doesn't always really mean anything, but if you were really, what it means is if you were to adjust it, how would you adjust it in this case? And you would have to, because if somebody recorded it as 414, no. See, even I'm getting a little confused on this. They're looking for a debit. That means that.
Well, which one's larger because it didn't get paid out?
Yeah, this one was
Right,
the correct value. This is the incorrect value, right? So theoretically, then, if I had journaled this, oh gracious, trying to figure out how to display this. So services revenue, right? Okay. So it is recorded at 414 and should have been at 4140. So in this case, then effectively what you've got, I'm trying to figure out how, it's obvious that it's a debit. Well, it's too much. It's 3726 too much. And not enough, actually. Not enough.
So I read it as, well, so which column is larger because of the error? And so I read it as, well, the debit got too large because of the error by not enough being credited. That's how that's how I looked at it. I don't know if that's right, but I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. I mean, these two things make sense to me. When you ask the question, identified accounts incorrectly stated. Definitely services revenue is not stated correctly. And is it over or understated? Well, it's understated because you should have done 4140, but you did 414. Okay, that's understatement of revenue. But this debit, and maybe just to your point, Carol, the only real reason it shows up as a debit is because the effectively the net amount. Let's see what that would have happened. So the net amount I would have to do here, 3726, to bring it up, and I'd have to do a 3726 adjustment someplace. Because someplace, I know, I see what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay,
the money
so-
didn't get, the money didn't get that.
So some other account, who knows what account, got debited for 414. They didn't tell you which account it was. We can assume what it is, but we're just gonna not worry about it. So in order to fix this, we would have to do the same entry, but correct it. Oops. Correct it to the tune of 37.6, and we'd have to put in a debit for the 37.6. And so that's where they get, effectively, this is the original entry, and this is the adjusting entry to correct what happened. So this is where you get that value that is at the larger total. That one's a little bit difficult. This one, the 660 debit to supply store is not, store supplies is not posted. Well, that just means that nothing happened, right? So you have to post it. So store supplies is right. Store supplies is understated, that is right. And this is the same, it's the same theory effectively. If it was supposed to be debited, but you need to now credit it. You need to post it with a debit and credit. See, this still doesn't make sense to me. This whole column doesn't make sense to me, but at least you would get 3 out of the 4 right. Maybe that's why everybody.
That's a glass half full approach.
I know, and with 3 tries, you could go from debits to credits or credits to none.
Yeah, I mean, there's a process of elimination that should work out.
That's right. Yeah, I totally agree. This column makes absolutely no sense to me. So, you know, yeah. At least those that are gracious. Okay, 6. Let's look at another one real quick here that doesn't have anything here. 6480 debit to the dividends account is debited to the common stock. Okay, so so it went to common stock instead of dividends. So common stock is overstated and dividends is understated, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
And so those are the 2 accounts that are impacted.
But, that's where I had to sit and think, well, now they're saying I put none because they're both in that equity and they're both kind of swap. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's none because, yeah, you're right, because the it makes no sense to me, even in that case.
Well,
I mean, it literally this column makes no sense. But I'm sure somebody's going to come back and say, Brother Lewis, I need a point because of that, or I need an extra opportunity because I got this one question wrong. Just be forewarned, I'm going to say no.
but again, there's only 3 choices and you could have figured it out,
you could have
in the
worked
3
through it and
choices.
tried it.
Yeah.
And if you still had, if you're, like I've said before, if you're on your second try and you absolutely have to get this right and then get over your 85%, then give me a call, send me a message, I will respond, and you'll be able to get past this. No problem. Okay, or make sure you do it in the support module, right? People, if multiple people are having problems with this, then you guys can share some valuable information about how to get through this question. All right. So
Yeah, but
one,
I mean, on that particular one, when it said which column is higher, they both had the same amount. That wasn't correct, but they both had the same
yeah.
effect. So that's how I came up with none. Neither column gained greater than the other one, but I
You're
don't
less
know.
smart than I am. I would have just said, what?
What
Like
the
I
devil?
just did now, I'd be scratching my head forever on that one. Okay, let's look at this one.